Hey everyone. So in this video, we are going to learn about Copilot Studio agent creation. Consider this as a beginner level hands-on lab tutorial to showcase how you can create this agent in Copilot Studio. And we are primarily going to learn two things. One, we are going to explore the agent in the Copilot Studio by learning how to create it, what are the ways you can create it, super high level on what is topics, and how you can publish this agent. Going forward, I will add additional videos to attach on this particular series so that you will learn in-depth information about further aspect about Copilot Studio. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. All right, so let's go and start how to build an agent in the Copilot Studio. Go to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. Sign in with the username and password. So if you are logging into the studio for the first time, it might take some time to set things for you. If you don't have a license, when you get to this particular page, select a region where you want to host these services or based on where you live or closest to you, and click on Start Free Trial. So this is the console for Copilot Studio. Here you can come in here and describe what type of agent you are trying to build. So if you had watched the previous video, what I made on agents in M365, you can use your natural language to define what agent are you trying to create, and using that step you can create agents. Similarly, you can take that route in the Copilot Studio as well. If you scroll down, you would find additional things like templates. You can see that there are exploring additional agents. So these are predefined agents, templates you can use. So if you are trying to create an agent for a Q&A, you can pretty much start your activities from using this particular template. So we will see multiple examples on that, don't worry. Additional learning references or resources are available at the bottom of the screen. Here you can see how you can start your Copilot journey by understanding the security and governance, quick start guide to help you deploy an agent, other documentations, things like that. On the left hand navigation pane, you can see we are under home. Click on create to create an agent, either creating an agent using click on new agent or selecting an existing template. Agents button on the left hand side will show you the not pre-built, already built agent within your environment. Flows will show all the flows you have created to either use it within agents or other flows. Library will show all the available connectors which you can use within your environment. You can see that there are ServiceNow connectors, GitHub connector, Salesforce connector, and things like that. All of it is ready to be used within this environment. If you click on this ellipsis, you can navigate to other places as well, like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Platform Admin Center, or other integration services like Azure Cognitive Services, Azure OpenAI, etc. On the top, you can see where you are currently working on. So we are under the default environment. So when you log in for the first time, you will be put into the default environment. So think of environment as a place where you keep all your agents and it has the shared resources. You can define the access control, permissions, and things like that. For this agent creation demo, I'm going to use the dev1 environment. And if you do get this message, this is basically showcasing you to help you understand what is Copilot Studio. If you are using for the first time, just take some time, go through this. Otherwise, you can click on skip or done. So again, the navigation pane and the look and the feel is same. Only thing what we had done now is switching the environment from the default one to the dev one. In this particular hands-on lab, I'm going to take you through steps on how you can create it. At the same time, I'm going to import a pre-built agent which we would use a couple of times to just showcase some of the features and some of the functionalities and things like that. So let me show you how you can import an agent as well. So on the left hand side navigation, if you go under agents, here you can see that there is already a couple of agents available. One is Copilot for Microsoft 365. This is where you would be able to build agents to deploy within your Microsoft 365 Copilot, leveraging Copilot, things like that. We will learn more about that in the upcoming videos, or maybe we'll touch base on few things about sharing in this video. To import a new agent, click on Import Agent. In the Import Agent, there are many options available for us. new solution, import solution, open app source. We're going to click on import solution. This allows us to go and browse the location where we had actually saved it. So I know in my device, I saved it under lab files, solution, and TechXL zip file. Click on next and click on import. You can see that currently this is importing the solution. It could be an app, it could be anything. So within this Copilot Studio, it's going to be known as solution. So what we have just now done is importing a solution from a pre-built agent, what I have done. So depending on the size of the agent, it might take maybe a couple of minutes to complete this import process. So what we are doing is we are downloading the definition of the agent, not the running version. So this comes with various internal components that we will explore in the upcoming parts in this particular hands-on lab. All right, so the status have changed. It says that the solution has imported successfully with some warnings. So there are some translated labels for some languages which could not be imported. That is still fine. If you want to validate the log, there is an option to download the log and look into that. If you prefer that, do that. Now what we're going to do is we are going to explore the agent in the Microsoft Copilot Studio. What we are going to learn is we are going to create a new agent using the natural language prompt. That's what I showed you in the beginning, typing and telling what you want to create, and it's going to create for you. Then once you create the agent, there are some components we need to learn. Things like topics. What is topic? What is trigger? What is message, question, conditions? I will explain all of that in detail. Then we are going to use Copilot to generate and modify the topic. And then we will learn how to publish an agent to a demo website for external testing. So let's go and do this particular part. So how can you create an agent? Like I said, go back to your Copilot Studio homepage, click on Copilot Studio. If you are in the solution page, we can close this. So we just came out to the solution page to just import this. Now within the Copilot Studio, go click on Home, and this is the page we are going to use. So either you can click on create and you can start the experience there, but this is a good place to start. So here it says that describe the agent you are trying to create. So we are going to create an agent to help onboarding employees and things like that. So go to this command box or text box or natural language input box, whatever you call it, and tell the instruction in your natural language. So I'm going to tell create an agent to help me onboard new employees and hit enter. Now we can see that there is a new experience open. So now we are in this agent creation option within Copilot Studio, where you can type in your natural language and it is going to respond back in natural language to help you create the agent and things like that. So it is telling, hey, hello, I'm here to help you build an agent. What would you like to make? This is what I said. Create an agent to help me onboard new employees. Now let's determine the name of that agent. How about onboarding assistants? So if you like this name, then you can say that yes, confirm, or okay, whatever you feels like. Or if you feel like getting other suggestions for the name, you can tell that, hey, give me additional suggestions. Or you can tell that if you have something in your mind, you can tell that, hey, no, use this particular name. Everything is possible. So now, because I confirmed the name of the agent on the right hand side, you can say that it's named into onboarding assistant. Here on the right hand side, you can see that all the activities which is happening. So it says that the agent is going to be onboarding assistant, the language which is using, it already adding the description of the agent based on what we provided, and the instruction set for these agent. We can always click on skip to configure and configure all of that in detail in another window, or we can keep on typing and provide more refinement to this agent. So now let's define few other things what this agent is going to do. Now the Copilot Studio is asking, let's define what the agent should do. What specific task or goal should the onboarding agent accomplish? For example, please provide new employee with the company policies and procedures, or guide new employees through set up their workstation. I'm going to say all of the above. But if you have clear instruction in your mind on what this agent should do, please provide that upfront. Now it is asking what type of tone this agent should interact with the new employees. For example, be friendly and supportive or provide clear and concise instruction. I'm going to say that give it an upbeat, friendly tone. All right, so that is accepted. Now it is asking what is the other instruction you want to do. I'm not going to provide any other further instructions. If you notice on the right hand side, based on the input what we have given, it is modifying that details in the summary pane in the right hand side. So what we are going to do is we're going to click on create, and now you can see that the basic structure of the agent is created. Now we have at the top, we have knowledge tab. This allows you to add additional knowledge. So we haven't added any knowledge to the onboarding assistant. To do that, all you have to do is click on add knowledge. This gives you an option to add knowledge like publicly available website or SharePoint site repository or any sort of Azure AI search, Dataverse, other third party connectors to connect into third party application sources like Salesforce or ServiceNow, things like that. Or you can click on advanced to see other advanced connectors which is available, or it has an ability to upload files, and each file can be up to 512 MB, and if it is not labeled as confidential or highly confidential or contain password, you can upload that, so that that can be used as a knowledge source for this agent to retrieve data from. So I'm going to click on cancel. Similarly, on top we have topics, action, activity, post deployment. You can check the analytics, and there you have channels. When you decide to publish it, where do you want to publish it? Do you want to publish it into Teams and Microsoft 365 or a demo website or any other channels available here? On the right hand side, here is where you can come in and test your agent by asking simple question. So if you ask something like hello, the agent should respond back to you in natural language, because this is grounded to use generative AI. So it is designed to keep the conversation going. And then we'll come to the topics and things like that to define where this particular conversation should go, what should be the right output, and things like that. Now it is already interacting back to us. So that's the test your agent tab. To test it further, what we are going to do is we are going to go to the agent which we have uploaded, so that what we are basically trying to learn is we learned how to create it, because I have other components pre-built so that we can save time and straight away get into the learning part. So let's go on, click on agents. The one we created is onboarding assistant just now. The one we uploaded is Contoso customer assistant. So click on that. It's an agent created just like this in the Copilot Studio. So now here, if you come to this agent, it has some description like what it is going to do, some general instruction on what it is going to perform, some topics, knowledge sources. So you can see that there are public knowledge sources attached, like it is pointing to some Copilot Studio knowledge sources. You can click on knowledge to see what it is grounded with. There are 2 public websites which is grounded within this particular agent to use. So what we are going to do is we are going to test this agent. So click on this test button. The agent is telling, hey, I'm Contoso customer assistant, a virtual assistant. Just so that you're aware, I sometimes use AI to answer these questions. If you provide a website during creation, try asking me about it. So let's have a conversation with this agent to see what it can do. So I'm going to ask hello, hit enter. So the agent responds back saying that, hey, how can I help you today? On the left hand side, whenever you have the conversation, you can clearly see what's happening in the topics tab. So it's automatically opened for us. All right, so when you interact with this agent, you will get the response from the agent. So, but when you double tap on the response, you will get to the topic and how it used to come up with that particular response. So if you use any phrase, you can see that this is topic. So if you use any phrase like hello, hey, hi, good afternoon, good morning, things like that, we have created a topic. It is designed to give a response back. We added another topic, say that message, and the message is like, hello, how can I help you today? So that's the message we created. And then the conversation end. But if you want to give additional suggestive topics here, you can add additional node with specific details on what it should be the additional response to give. But now we are waiting for other input from the user to keep the conversation going. Now, let me quickly give you an overview about all the things what you see over here. Let me quickly minimize this part so that I can see channels as well. After that, we will start with the next set of customization. First is the overview tab. To help you understand, this overview tab gives you the description of the agent, its instructions. You can clearly see what are the instruction is nothing but the set of rules what we are telling the agent to perform. This include a quick view of its configuration like knowledge sources, topics, actions, published status, and so on. So that is what it has. Additionally, you can see some startup prompts as well. This allows you to modify and edit different startup prompt, things like that. The next tab is the knowledge tab. This is where you manage the agent's knowledge source, such as are you going to use a public website, or are you going to use a particular file or a SharePoint site or a connector, things like that. That is going to be defined here. The next tab is topics. Topics is where you are going to manage custom and system topics. We had just now seen an example when I double clicked on this response. It showed you a topic card. You can see topics as what they're going to define how conversational dialogue plays out. Topics are discrete conversational path which used together allows users to have conversation that feels natural and flows appropriately. You can either use the custom topics which is given by the Copilot Studio or some system generated ones, or you can create your own topics either from a blank template, or you can use Copilot itself with a description to create topic for you. The next tab is actions. Actions is where you manage actions. Actions are piece of logic with input or output. They leverage Power Platform components such as connectors, Power Platform, Cloud Flows, AI Builder, custom prompts, or any sort of bot framework skills. So where are this action going to be useful? The actions are useful to leverage generative AI to prompt the user for any sort of necessary action or necessary input, as well as to summarize the output of the action in the desired format. Let's close out of this action window. The next one is activity tab. So if the generative AI is on, then we will be able to see the activity. So we will come back to this later. Let's look into the analytics. Analytics is where you can view metrics to monitor how well your agent is serving your users and identify ways to improve it. So post deployment, you can see that how many users are using it, what's the bounce rate and stuff like that, the usage pattern, things like that. Channel is where you configure how your agent is made available to your users. For example, are you going to deploy to Teams or a website and things like that. And we already talked about its environment. So if you click on environment, this allows you to switch between different environments. So environment is where you can identify the Power Platform environment you're working from. You would typically create and author an agent in a development environment and then deploy to a test and production environments. Close out the environment tab. Then we have these two buttons at the top, publish and settings. I'm not going to click on, let's click on publish. All right, so when you click on publish, this allows you to publish it to the places where you choose to. So this is where you can make the latest version of the agent available to the users. Apart from the test pane, changes are not reflected to end users if you haven't published the agent. Let's cancel it. The next is settings. Settings give you a lot of controls on additional things you can manage. This is where you can manage the agent configuration such as advanced settings, security, language, and things like that. So we will look into that later. Close this out. And the last but not the least is the test pane, what we are currently using to test this. Now let's go and learn about topics. So click on topics. So this time what we are going to do is we are going to learn about how to create a topic from scratch, and we are going to learn about how to create and edit topics. First and foremost, here you can see what are the topics which is already turned on for this agent. You can see there are check order, check ticket, cryptocurrency topics, goodbye, greetings. There are quite a lot of topics available. So let's go and turn off some of the topics. So if you don't want a certain topic, it's super easy for you to turn it off. Or if you want to use a particular topic, you can actually click on the topic to turn it on as well. So let's expand this out to see what are the topics available. So I have some sample topics created at the moment, like to test this out. So I'm going to turn off lesson 1, lesson 2 topic, and lesson 3 topic. So it's basically to show you, like, if you want to enable, you just simply click on enable. If you disable, if you don't want to use a particular topic, you click on disable the topic. Now let's explore a particular topic. So I'm going to come here and click on check order status. So click on that topic. Here you can see that what's included in this topic. So it's a trigger topic, and some of the phrases which is in the trigger are like order status, track my order, where is my order, check delivery, status of my purchase, and things like that. So these are all predefined and already given. So if you want to modify it, you can click on edit. That allows you to add extra phrases. Like add phrases will allow you to add extra phrases. When you look at these particular topic, you can see that these are the topics or the trigger phrases anybody would typically use to handle any sort of customer orders. Like they want to check for a delivery status, check for my purchase, locate my order, things like that. And these, when a user input these, this doesn't have to be an exact match of it. If it is close related, it is gonna trigger that phrase. So what if you want to add a new phrase? So you've been testing this agent and the agent is not picking up a new phrase or things like that. If you want to modify and add a new thing to the topic, all you have to do is click on edit, and under add phrases, click on that and add the new phrase. So I want to add has my order shipped. So if I look at the existing phrases, these are all the existing phrases. It's has my order shipped is not available. So click on add. So you can see that there is a new phrase added. It's called has my order shipped. To save the changes, click on save. And if I just scroll back or scroll down the existing phrases, you can see that has my order ship is added to the existing trigger. So now to test it, I can come in here and I can ask, has my order shipped? It is going to ask me the next step. That is, please could you tell me the order number? See, that's the next step, because in before there was no phrase like that. It is added so that it couldn't respond to that or take you to the next step. Next, we are going to explore the question, message, and condition nodes. So if you scroll down just under the trigger node, the next one is the question node. So just scroll down. The question node is when you are expecting a response from a user and you want to do something with that information. So when I asked, has my order shipped? The question to respond to that input is, can you give us the order number? Because you are expecting some information to respond back. So their response is whenever they provide this response, we are going to store that in a variable for future use in the conversation. So here you can see that whatever response the user is going to give, we are going to save the user response as an order string variable. And the next node is another question. So if they give us another question could be, what would you like to do an order? So we have 3 actions provided, like do you want to update, check, or cancel the order. And we have another variable where based on the choice we are saving that user response. So this particular node asks the user what they would like to do with the order, providing 3 options, and then save the responses in a global variable called global order request. So there is another question. The next one is the message. So if I remove this test plane so you can see more. All right, so the next one is the message part. So depending on the condition, the message node expand into text. So depending on what they tell, this probably tell the user that, hey, this provide the confirmation to the message to the user while incorporating the whatever information provided in the global order request. Below the message, you can see there are quite a number of nodes spreading out or branching out. So these are called branch offs or the topic branch off into different conversation path. So this is quite useful when you are meeting different condition. In this case, if the user selection is what they want to do with that order based on the condition could be update or check or cancel, we have different option to provide the response to the user. Each one have a different message associated with it. So if the question is like updated, there is a different message. If the question is to check, we will say that one moment I will check your order for you, or other messages. Or if they say that cancel the condition, there is a different message, one moment I will cancel the order for you, and things like that. So to test these variable combination, let's do a quick test. Click on test, and here I'm going to ask in the message box, has my order shipped? That's a question. That's what I asked. I'm going to ask one more time. So it is going to look into, please could you tell me your order number? So I'm going to tell the order number is 001342. It is going to save that variable, and based on what we have seen here, it is going to keep that variable in the order number as order number string. The next natural question is, what would you like to do with the order? Do you want to update, check, or cancel? So I'm gonna do click on check. So you know that if you go under this check, it is going to give you additional messages like one moment I'll check the order for you and things like that. So I'm going to click on check. All right, so it is asking, it is telling no problem, we can check that for you. Let us take a look at your order. One moment, I'll check that order for you. Now it is telling your order should be delivered by Sunday, and did it answer your question? So if you explore the path of check, if I scroll down, and based on the variable it collected, the order number, and you can see that there is a message based on the order number. That's the message we received. And there is another node called either end conversation or a redirect conversation. So what we have just now seen is the redirect. Rather than redirecting to a newer conversation, it is asking, hey, end of the conversation, did you get that answer? Do you want to end it? If there is another node, if the blue path is not taken, there is another option to either ask the user to cancel the order, and it is going to cancel the order for the user and then give the confirmation back. So I'm going to say yes. So when you based on your response, it is asking, hey, do you want to rate your experience? I can say that yes, great experience so far. This is another way you can collect the feedback from the user, figuring out if it is actually serving, is it useful, is it performing rightly, and things like that. And the bot is telling, thanks for your feedback, is there anything else it can help? So if you want, you can have the conversation going, or you can say that no, at the moment everything is fine, to end the conversation. So the CSAT score and the resolution rates, these are all stored in the analytics tab. So if you go to the analytics tab, so based on what a real user provide, these are all collected here. So now we are testing it. It's not available, but if you really publish this to outside and if a user provide this, then it's going to be collected here. So we will test that later. Now let's go and review the topics bit more. So I'm going to go back to the topics. So let's remove the test option so we get more real estate here. So let's select a topic, check order status. All right, so I'm going to help you understand few things over here so that we understand all the components within this particular page. So first, on the left hand side here, you can see the name of the agent or the title of the agent. So if you want to modify the title of the agent, this is where you can come in and modify. Right now it is called check order status. So when you hover your mouse, this allows you to modify or edit the name. Just under the name, you can see there is something called productivity bar. So this is where you have access to tools such as cut, copy, paste, and delete for notes, messages, questions, and so on. At the same time, in the same ribbon, you can see there is a list of icons here. These are like icons for Copilot, comments, variables, topic checker, details. And if you click on this ellipsis, you can see there is additional details like analytics, open code editor, etc. So Copilot here, which is going to help you create and update topics using description in your natural language. So if you click on this, it allows you to add or create topic based on whatever you tell Copilot to do. Comments are used where authors can collaborate and leave comments on notes. So if you want to provide additional comments, like for others to understand, hey, what does this particular topic does, this is where as an author you can do it, because if you're collaborating with somebody else, they can understand what this particular topic does. So this is quite good information, where if you're collaborating with other people, good to leave some messages here. The next is variables. So this is where you can see the list of topic level and global variables and their runtime value in the test lab. So in the previous example, we used some of the variables like order delivery date, global order request, and things like that. All of these variables are created and kept here. You can modify, you can change it, test it. Topic checker is which you can run anytime from the authoring canvas to check if errors are occurred in your topic that the platform can detect. And if there are any errors here, and if you don't resolve it, then it will prevent you from publishing the agent. So you have to come in here and like fix the errors based on topic before publishing this agent to the required channel. Then we have the details. This goes to give you access to the topic properties. So each topic have different properties like name, display name. If you want, you can add description. I would encourage you to give that. Who created it? If you have multiple authors, that is quite good. Now let's click on more. Here you can see first analytics. The analytics shows topics usage metric, and click on open code editor. This actually switches the user interface from no code, low code experience to a pro code view of the underlying YAML. So in the backend, it uses the YAML configuration of the topic that developers can edit directly. So if you're a developer, I think you would be spending a lot of time here. I personally am not a developer, so I would be spending a lot of time in the low code, no code option. And let's switch back to close the code editor. If you make any changes, there is an option. This is currently disabled. It's called save. But if you make any changes, you can come in here and save as well. If you want to add a node to an existing topic, if you hover your mouse after every topic, there is a plus button. You can click on this plus button. This allows you to pick what type of node you want to add, like another message or a question or an adaptive card, or do you want to add another branch conditions, or do you want to add variables, topic management, like handling the conversation to something else, adding an action, advanced actions, things like that. So this particular pane is called authoring canvas, and on the left hand side you can see some controls. You can use these controls to navigate this authoring canvas. So this is the selection tool. When you select that, this allows you to select a particular thing. If you select the hand tool, this allows you to drag it to navigate to different parts within the authoring canvas. Then there is a mini map that actually puts this into this mini map section. So you can use this drag and drop option to go to different parts of this authoring canvas. There is zoom out option, which gives you a bird's eye view on all the things happening here, and a reset button. And there is a zoom in option as well. So depending on what you're trying to do, try to use this authoring canvas to actually navigate between different places. Next, we are going to learn how we are going to use Copilot to create a topic. We already clicked on it. So let's go and use Copilot to create a topic. So I'm just going to click on the main topic one more time to see that option. On the add topic button, there is an option called create from description with Copilot. So click on that. So give a name for the topic. So I'm going to tell the topic is called pizza order, and create a topic to let someone order pizza, choosing from common pizza type and how many they want to order, and for each question add 2 message variations. So I don't want to create all of this topic by myself. I want Copilot to give me 2 variations for each of these order types. And let's click on create. You can very well go ahead and create manually, but I would rather take help from Copilot because it uses the generative AI to build these order phrases. Because now you can see that in the order pizza, there are a lot of phrases already added. I wanted to order pizza, pizza delivery, can I get a pizza, pizza menu. All of these are order phrases automatically added. in the edit with Copilot, if this is not open, you can click on this Copilot button. This opens in edit with Copilot. There is an option called what do you want to do. So this is where you can update additional detail. I'm going to tell ask a question to get the username, address and phone number after their order and before providing a friendly confirmation message. I'm going to click on update. Now if I scroll back in the authoring canvas, you can see what type of pizza would you like to order. Please choose an order type. There are multiple choice questions. How many pizza would you like to order? So this is what we are trying to look at. So this is what just now I added, like ask the name. What all the things we have given? We asked Copilot to ask a question of the username. Username is asked here. The next what I asked is name, address. Yep, address. And what else did I ask? And a phone number. So if I go scroll down, you should see a phone number as well, right? So this is an easy way to create these notes by using Copilot to create all of that for you. So if you want to make changes, if you feel like this is something which you want to add it to your existing topic within the Conteso customer assistant, if you're happy with the testing you have done, click on save. This topic is going to be added. So what you have learned right now is the ability to use Copilot itself to create this topic and the different notes and different conditions and things like that all for yourself rather than you creating everything manually one by one. Next, let's go and learn about how we can publish this agent. So to publish the agent, let's go and look at the channels. I kind of told you like there are multiple places you can publish it. But I just want to show you there is an option here called demo website. See, the Copilot Studio provides a demo website so that you can invite people to test your agent by sending them a URL. And this demo website is useful for gathering feedback to improve your content before you activate the agent for the real end users. So to publish it, all you have to do is click on publish. You can see there is a risk that we need to review, expand on the risk. This risk is because this is allowing anonymous end users to chat with the agent because we haven't set the authentication, like is it purely for internal end users or things like that. So that's a security warning. So for this particular example, we can ignore it. But in the real use case, you need to actually validate if this is something what you want. So click on publish. Alright, so the green tick box is necessary for us to understand the publishing is successful. You can see when is the time. So if you make any changes, you can see that that will not be reflected there. So the latest publishing is based on that particular time we have selected. The risk, we already addressed that, what the risk about. Publishing this agent to a demo website is a quick and easy process, but publishing an agent to a real use case, for example, in a Microsoft Teams, can take longer. So what we can do is we can click on this ellipsis and we can go to demo website, and this will help us interact with the agent by typing in the chat window by selecting some of the starter phrases. I don't want, click on cancel. So we have some of the starter phrases here. It says that, hey, hello, I'm a Conteso customer assistant. We can say that, hey, help me with my order. Can you please tell me the order number? I say this number and that number is not detected. That's fine. I'm going to tell I would like to order a pizza. I have 3 options based on Copilot I have given. So I'm going to pick on margarita. How many pizzas would you like to order? 3. Send. What's your name? Dr. X. What's your address? Provide the address. And you can keep on going. So this is how the testing works. So if you want to start over, you can click on the start over button that immediately gives the conversation end option. Yes. Would you like to end the conversation? Yes. And it starts over all over again. Or if you can have another reroute to talk to a person, and that gives you a message to escalate to a person. So you can configure all of that in the backend on configuring these options. All right. So what we have learned so far is created an agent using a prompt. That's what we learned first, and we just parked that. Then we explored a pre-built agents, some of the topics like triggers, questions, messages, and conditions. Then we edited a topic trigger responses using both the graphical interface and Copilot Assistant authoring. And then we created a new topic with natural language. And finally, we published this to a demo website. So that's a quick overview on how Copilot Studio work and some of the high level components. I will make separate videos on detailed instructions later as a masterclass, or we will see multiple agent examples built in Copilot Studio later. I hope the information provided in this particular lab was helpful. I will see you on the next one. Take care.